All right. Welcome back. You know what time it is. It's the Fan the Van podcast time. Instagram Live, recording for YouTube, because hey, that's just what the fuck we do. Also repping
3 is through.
Also repping my Brooklyn brand jersey. That's right, go check them out, mybrooklynbrand.com.
David Tyree, you already know what time it is.
Created by great actor Will DeMeo. Also check out Gravesend. Gravesend season 2 is coming soon. Can't wait for that motherfucker to come out. Jesus Christ, I can't. So yeah, NFL draft has come and gone. For those who follow me on Facebook, you've seen us on Facebook Live. Yep. If you watch on YouTube, so we're pretty much here just to recap everything.
And let me start off with the New York fucking Giants. All right, we trade out of the 11th pick, move back to 20. All right, cool. We recoup first and the fourth next year. Cool, I'm down with that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now the pick, I'm not too sure with. I'm not completely knocking it because he is.
Because you don't know what he's going to do.
Exactly. But we could have got him in the second or third round. We should have went O-line at 20, Mr. Gettleman. But
well, that's the thing. Gettleman had a very unforgettable type.
Yeah, I just don't get it. Like who did? Like, all right, your star running back who you just picked up your 5th-year option on, bro. Tore his ACL last year. You don't get him alignment to make holes. Fuck it. He's tear his ACL game 1. Fuck it.
Well, you know that's what they do.
Bye, Barkley.
Mark's on Instagram Live, so what's up, Mark?
And bullshit.
Listen, you know everybody on NFL Network's giving you guys an A, and let's just be realistic. Okay, the trade down was the smart move because again, you recoup picks. Well and good within the draft to get more picks, whether it's for this year, next year, the future, whatever it is.
We got a 5th round this year, but by moving back up in the 2nd round to get Azeez Ojulari, we lost that 5th round pick.
But you had to do that to get that guy.
I know.
But when you're drafting guys that you really don't need, see, like look at the Cowboys, and the Cowboys set the standard. I don't think they drafted one offensive player in any of their picks. They went full defense rebuild mode.
Yep.
And they absolutely had to. You figure because Van Der Esch is going to constantly be hurt. Sean Lee retires.
Yep.
You have Trayvon Diggs in your secondary, who, in my opinion, was a letdown.
Oh yeah.
On offense, you have CeeDee Lamb, who was a letdown.
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't think he's going to be that caliber wide receiver, and Jerry Jones is going to regret passing up on Ruggs or Jerry Jeudy.
Yeah.
Seriously. He's gonna definitely.
Especially when you have a rookie receiver trying to run a slant route where he doesn't even know what a first down marker is.
But
come on, man.
But as far as like teams within this year that had to get the draft right, and we've been saying it for months, even during the regular season, playoffs, Super Bowl, off season, up until the draft. The Jets had to get it right.
The Giants had to get it right.
The Giants had to get it right and failed. The Jaguars had to get it right and succeeded. The Steelers had to get it right, and yeah, this sounds homerish to say, but we nailed every single motherfucking pick. We did.
Miami did it.
From Najee. From Najee. And if anybody who watches and listens, who's friends with me on Facebook, you knew I had to go live with that one, and the towel went absolutely insane. The minute friggin', and of course Melissa said it forever, we were getting Najee. And it's good to have those hopes, but you also have to remember we had the 24th pick, so it's 23 other teams drafting before you. Any one of them could have played spoiler and said, oh, really? Najee and the Steelers? Okay, we're going to fuck that day up.
Yep.
But guess what? Nobody did.
And right after Najee was Travis Etienne.
And then you have Jaguars fans getting Travis Etienne at 25, but you knew you were going to pay. Listen, when you look at this draft, Jalen Hurts reunites with Devonta Smith. So there's a comfortability level with them too. You have Tua and Waddle back together. You have
Burrow and
you have Burrow and Jamar Chase. Even though I would have went offensive line there, and that particular pick gets knocked and praised at the same time because you need an offensive line. And what the Bengals management told you is, yeah, we don't care about the offensive line.
We just,
did they Did they absolutely address it later? Yeah, but guess what? You also could have addressed it later at wide receiver.
Exactly.
But you also have to. You got to think about it this way too. Put yourself in the mind of Zach Taylor in Cincinnati. You lost AJ Green to the Cardinals. So you had to replace him somehow. So you can knock the pick and praise it at the same
But
time.
you got Terrence Marshall Jr.
And that's you could have also got another one of Burrow's wide receivers. Could have.
That's my point.
Could have got him later.
Yep.
You could have even got Kadarius Toney later. You could have got any other wide receiver. You could have got
There's so
Eskridge.
many.
You
There's
could have
so
got
many. They're
Bateman.
all over the
You
place.
could have even got wide receivers that weren't even drafted. But that's Cincinnati, and I'm glad I'm not a Bengals fan.
Poor Burrow, man.
Yeah, well, wait till that other knee looks like the other knee.
Fuck.
That's
He
gonna
tore
be
everything.
That's
too.
gonna be fucking destroyed as can be. And
The Texans with David Mills is fucking hilarious.
the Houston Texans organization is the
It's
punchline
funny,
joke
bro.
of the NFL now, because when it came into his inception, okay, when Houston Texans came into the league, they weren't a bad team. I mean, at first, yeah, okay, but then and it was like Houston finally had a team after they lost the Oilers, and they went to Tennessee, okay. Then they had decent teams. They were consistently a playoff team, even though it was
Yes.
one and done, wild cards, occasional AFC South championships. Okay, all well and good. Then you get the quarterback you needed.
Oh yeah.
You had the offense you needed. And you brought in Bill O'Brien, the most clueless douche I've ever met in life.
And destroyed it.
The only reason why he became the head coach at Penn State was because Joe Paterno knew that Sandusky was finger banging all the friggin' players in the friggin' locker room, or whatever it was. Okay, and on top of his pedophilia and everything else, it's utterly disgusting with the man. And how he's still alive. If he's still alive, he shouldn't be. But he comes to the Houston Texans and destroys. He was like the aliens coming in Independence Day and just fucked shit up.
Oh yeah.
Okay? He literally came in, he was like, oh, DeAndre Hopkins, one of the best receivers? Oh, pew pew, done, gone, you're gone, for a bag of chips and a can of Arizona. And conveniently, that's where D-Hop went, Arizona.
Yep.
And then because Bill O'Brien's like, well, we can't pay you, and we can't pay JJ, and we can't pay D-Hop. You could have, you just didn't figure out how to do it, because in Houston, they don't have a general manager or a guy like Omar Khan in Pittsburgh where they create these new inventive ways with voidable contracts, which, by the way, has anybody heard of a voidable contract till Pittsburgh did it and experimented it with Ben Roethlisberger? No, you didn't.
All I know is that I guarantee to keep DeAndre Hopkins, Watson would have restructured his contract. He would have.
What I would have done, and this is a huge gamble, what I honestly would have done in that situation, knowing that JJ, even though he's a bona fide Hall of Fame defensive player,
but he's on a decline.
Okay, and he can't stay fully healthy, which has always been the knock on. Just like Jadeveon Clowney, which, oh yeah, by the way, Browns, you overpaid. You overpaid by $10 million because he's not even worth $1 million. Okay, you literally paid for a guy for 1 year at $10 million who didn't register a sack all last year. The only sack he had was the one that he washes in the shower. Okay, that is the only one. And as Mark's asking what I think of the Giants picks, other than that one guy you got, they're all trash. All trash. All trash.
Kadarius Toney can't be trash.
Because you got a defensive end in that Everson Smith kid, whatever his name is, right? Who legitimately is built like Kevin Durant.
Yeah, he's 6'7".
And we said it when we were on Facebook Live earlier, and when we did the audio podcast, and when we did a little bit on YouTube before the camera decided to take a shit. Regardless, whatever. If the scouting report on this kid is negative,
very negative,
like he gets pushed around like the dork in high school,
he ends up on the ground too much, and you draft.
Then why are you drafting him? That's something you could have went any direction at that point. Why?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
What if you're a Giants fan after this draft? I don't know how you wake up with any faith in this team being successful this year. It's almost like Gettleman just went into this draft and said, okay, I don't want to fucking be here anymore.
I'm going to fuck it up.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to act like I give a shit, but but I don't really give a shit. Sorry, Joe Judge. You have no hand in this. And if I'm Joe Judge,
I would have fucking.
If I'm Joe
I
Judge,
don't understand why he didn't.
I'm like this after 7 rounds of this NFL draft. I'm literally like this. I'm not on this fucking guy. What the fuck?
Cause dude, like oh my god, bro. Like,
and
as soon as Waddle and Smith were off the board, we could have got any receiver in the second round.
Yeah.
We should have went O-line.
And
hands down.
And you wanna know what's funny? Is that if this season for the Giants doesn't pan out, they're gonna put Gettleman where Hoffa is. And nobody can find him, so you already know where I'm going on that one.
Yep. You invest your first round draft pick in your quarterback Daniel Jones, but okay, you put weapons around him. I completely understand that. But how is he gonna get them the ball when he has no time?
And that was the biggest knock last year. And this is why I said even for the Jets, I think they prematurely got rid of Sam Darnold because Mike McCagnon put nothing around Sam Darnold.
Yep.
Okay? You gave him literally no offensive weapons. Oh, Brashard Perriman. Again, Brashard Perriman. Okay. Right? You brought in Le'Veon Bell, but you had no offensive line to create a run game.
So we did nothing.
Which is funny because everybody makes that the knock on the Steelers. But when you talk about it with the Jets, it's, oh, no, it was Darnold's fault. Okay, well, first of all, Sam Darnold plays quarterback. And Le'Veon Bell's a running back, and your offensive line has 2 jobs. Protect your quarterback, create a hole for the run game, which they failed to do both. Okay?
And which of this draft, what they did for Zach Wilson, what they should have did for Sam Darnold.
And that was the knock, even though the Jets hit a home run on every pick. That was the knock they got. But the knock shouldn't have been on Joe Douglas. The knock needs to be on the former Jets regime, which was Adam Gase, which was Mike McCagnon, and even though Joe Douglas had to inherit Adam Gase, okay,
dude.
But everything they did in this draft, they should have done for Sam Darnold.
They should have,
and they didn't. And now they're doing it with. Now they're going to do it with Zach Wilson, and. We said it earlier. Sam Darnold does see ghosts. Holy shit, he does.
Oh my god, I can't believe you said that.
I remember
you played the Patriots, bro.
Oh my god, I remember that. It was Thursday Night Football. What a horrible
He's
fucking
like, I'm
game
seeing
that
ghosts.
Was. Yeah, he's seeing ghosts.
Constantly picked off by Stephen.
Yeah, well, because he was getting crushed all game.
Constantly scrambling and shit.
But watch now what Sam Darnold does with DJ Moore.
Yep.
Robbie Anderson he reunites with. If McCaffrey stays healthy. And the Panthers also restocked on defense, too. They kind of went both equally on both sides of the ball.
We went basically
you could say.
All defense.
What the Giants really did is kind of just went straight to the Winter Brothers Gershow friggin' dump and just said, hey, here's all our draft picks and let's just fucking, let's just scrap it.
And then always unrestricted, and these free agents, we signed 2 offensive tackles that have no college tape. All I find is high school shit.
That's because I think Adelphi University doesn't record football. Oh, I'm just saying that's probably where they went. But and like we said earlier, the Jets did what they had to do in the draft. Okay. Is Joe Douglas's plan is to recreate what the Eagles were in 17.
Yep.
Okay. That's the ultimate plan here for the Jets.
And they're on the way. They're heading in the right direction, so.
If you're a Jets fan sitting here today and you're still saying or you're still thinking that you're going to be this under 500 team, rethink that thought. Mm-hmm. Because even a guy like Joe Benigno, who was so on WFAN for years, was so vocal how the Jets sucked and sucked and how Gase was a douche and Richie Kotite was a schmuck and Mike Tannenbaum knew nothing and Joe McCagnon was an idiot. Okay, I think he was on WFAN. I think this morning with Evan Roberts or yesterday morning, and all of a sudden it was a change of tune, where now he actually sees the Jets going from the dog shit on the bottom of the shoe to the cream of the crop.
Yeah,
and it's not. And listen, it's not going to happen like this. It's not going to happen like this. But if you're a Jets fan, and there's a lot of you out there,
and you're not happy with that draft, I'll take your. We'll swap. Fuck it.
And the Jets and just like the Dolphins, as my buddy Jeff is on, he's a huge Dolphins fan. The Dolphins nailed their picks too.
Nailed it. They nailed the picks, bro.
And not only that, they nailed it in the offseason because you needed a decent backup for Tua. But what they did with Tua last year, and I didn't like it, is every time he got in a jam,
they brought Fitzmagic in.
They take him out. They babied him in essence. And like, oh, okay, well, it's a rough time for you.
You
let
him go through that shit to learn,
If you want Tua to succeed, which he can, is he's going to have to go through those stretches where he throws a pick here and he's going to have to adapt and overcome it. Or he gets sacked 3 or 4 times, he's going to have to adapt and overcome it.
Learn from his own mistakes?
Because if he doesn't, what are you going to do every year? Just bring in another backup, and every time shit hits the fan, it's just like, okay, well, we'll take you out and put this in. You can't do that.
No.
He's never going to succeed, and he'll be what like Fitzmagic was his whole career, and that is a journeyman bounce around quarterback.
Yeah,
that's what it's going to turn into. And a lot of people are like, well, Miami should draft one of the top quarterbacks. That in essence is saying that you had no faith in Tua. And even though with the whole Watson thing, where Miami was flirting with the idea of sending him Tua, okay, that's all well and good. Because then it's not like you're trading Tua for another unknown. You're trading Tua for an already established quarterback that takes you from a wild card team to an AFC championship type team.
Yeah.
Okay? You put Tua in Houston, and I think Tua's career goes to shit.
Oh, yeah. He goes complete this
So,
shit, dude.
if you ask me, Miami made the right decision in kind of taking themselves out of that and sticking with Tua. Tua's got all the fundamentals.
He does.
To make this team a Super Bowl contending team. And Brian Flores is doing what he needs to do down there. He's putting decent pieces around them. Okay? It's not like they went into this draft and just went, oh, okay, well, we're just going to take this guy, we're just going to take this guy, we're just going to take this guy. No. They went Waddle.
Boom.
Had to. Right then and there, you knew where this draft was going. You knew what Miami was going to do. Carolina, you knew what they were going to do. Even Detroit. Even Detroit improved, okay? Because for all these teams that needed an offensive lineman, and this is what the Giants should have did. Instead of trading down, they should have traded up to 7 with Detroit and got Penei Sewell. That's what they should have done. And then anything else after that, I would still give the Giants at least a B because they traded up and got the offensive tackle that they needed. But they didn't. They traded down.
And they
traded down, and it's almost like at that point at 20, it's like you just traded into the second round because you got a second, third round wide receiver in the first round, and a la Daniel Jones all over again.
Christian Darrisaw got picked right after us at 20. Why couldn't we take him?
There was a lot of guys there because look what happens. Buffalo had the 30th pick. They take Greg Rousseau. Kwity Paye went right after to Indy.
God,
So look at all those guys that get Gettleman pass. And I'm not going to say Joe Judge because I don't think Joe Judge had a say.
If he did, this thing would have went a whole different way.
If you find out, okay, that Joe Judge sat there in that draft room and said, "Why are we drafting this guy? We should have got this guy." All you need to know is that there's issues within that room, and that Gettleman was probably like, well, I'm the GM and this is who I want. Well, you know what? You are not a smart general manager because you didn't improve this team one bit. You hurt it that much more.
The only thing I like is that we get the first round, the Chicago Bears first round pick this year. It's the only thing I'm happy about.
And that's it. And that's the other thing.
2 first round, but he's gonna fuck. If he's still here, he's gonna fuck that up too.
But I don't think Gettleman's going to be here after this year. And if he is, then I got to question. If I'm a Giants fan, I got to question the ownership. What are you thinking? Are you thinking? Are you even seeing what's going on? Do you even know what's going on, or are you worried about something else entirely? Because, I was asked why did the Bears get Justin Fields? Okay, if you're a Bears fan, are you trusting this team with Andy Dalton? And I get that everybody says that, and my buddy Sal is a big proponent of this, and when it comes to college football, there's no one who knows it better than him, in my opinion. I'm not just saying that to gas him up. I'm saying because, he's older than me and he's watched a lot more college football than I have, so I'll give him this. Okay. Ohio State quarterbacks, for the most part, that have come out have been a bust. Dwayne Haskins.
Oh, my God.
Okay. Justin Fields may prove to be the opposite of that. But what the Bears need to do is a complete overhaul. They need to clean house of Matt Nagy, the general managers, and more. Because think about this: the Mahomes year draft with Watson, you traded up to get Mitch Trubisky. And where's Mitch Trubisky now? In Buffalo.
Backing
up Josh Allen.
Well, he'll never play.
Which the only time he's going to play is in the fourth quarter with 4 minminutes left when the Bills are up by 20.
Exactly.
That's the only time he's going to play, and he'll probably throw 3 interceptions, and it'll go from a 20-point game to having to win it by a field goal, and it'll screw up somebody's freaking parlay on FanDuel, and everybody will shit on Trubisky again. But what's funny with Mitch Trubisky is he's the only quarterback in the league who's never thrown a pick six.
That's kind of hard to believe.
It is hard to believe, but it's happened.
Huh.
It's something he's never done for all the other picks he's thrown.
Shit.
And we got to get... And Green Bay. Green Bay is another Matt interesting...
LaFleur, bro. I just don't.
Listen.
Bro, I don't.
As far as I'm concerned when it comes to Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers has consistently done what Aaron Rodgers has done. He puts up the numbers he needs to. He makes people weapons that you wouldn't think are weapons. Like Scanling, Lazard, John Runyon now is a big name in Green Bay. Okay? Mm-hmm. And what Green Bay wants is the MVP Aaron Rodgers. They want that Super Bowl-esque quarterback in Aaron Rodgers. But what you don't understand is that Aaron Rodgers, like the rest of us, is a human being.
Exactly.
And Aaron Rodgers plays with that winning mentality. He wants to win, and you're not giving him what he needs. So when you have the 28th pick in the first round and you're taking a corner you could have got in the third round, instead of getting, say, Eskridge out of Michigan State, I think he went to, okay, or even Rashard Bateman,
anybody.
Or even trying to convince him to say, hey, listen, I know you said no to restructuring your deal, but if you do it, this is who we're going after. We'll get you Antonio Brown. We'll bring in Le'Veon Bell. We'll spend the money where it needs to be spent. And all you have to do, Aaron, is just get us over the top. Mm-hmm. Because think about it. For all the talent that Aaron Rodgers is, for all the talent Drew Brees was, for all the talent Peyton Manning was, for all the talent that Phillip Rivers was, and all the talent Ben has been, and Eli, and need I go on? But Aaron Rodgers in particular, because that's the topic of which is being discussed, won Super Bowl. And Dallas is going crazy because they have Mike McCarthy. Well, Mike McCarthy is an overrated fat fuck. Okay? Because you had all these weapons. Even with Brett Favre, you had all these weapons. From Mike Holmgren to Mike McCarthy, you had all these weapons for years in Green Bay. Greg Jennings. Randall Cobb. You had all these guys. And for Brett Favre, it's 1. And for Rodgers, it's 1. So you figure over 20 years, 2 Super Bowls. And for Green Bay fans to say, well, maybe Aaron's the problem. Aaron Rodgers is overhyped. He's overrated.
No.
You can say it because nothing has come of what he's done. But when you have a 4-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio, and when you throw 40 to 50 to 60 touchdowns and throw 5 interceptions all year, that's not overrated. It's not overhyped. Aaron does what Aaron does on the field. Okay, he has one of the highest football IQs out there. The issue is that Green Bay, from the general manager to ownership, is not giving him what he needs. Okay, he's not asking for much. He's asking for weapons. Rightfully so. He wants to win. He wants, just like Ben, and just like any other quarterback, he wants to win another Super Bowl. Do I blame Aaron Rodgers for that thought process? No, I do not.
He asked for extension. They told him no. So that's probably one of the reasons why he's going to start this contract.
And this situation with Aaron Rodgers is going to get uglier than the one with Brett Favre.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because
there's still 3 years left in his contract.
Because it's not like Aaron is on the decline. He's
still there.
It's funny because like Tom Brady, they just get better with age.
the past 2 years they've been 13-3. The past 2 years, bro.
And you know, and you could say, and what people like to do is they like to sit there and say, well, they didn't win a Super, you know, they blew it in a big game because of Aaron Rodgers, or they blew it in a big game because of Drew Brees. And
No.
and depending on how the outcome of the game was, you could say, like, if Aaron Rodgers in a big position
He should have ran it in there.
threw a pick six, okay, yeah, then Aaron blew the game. Same thing with Drew Brees. There's been times where Drew Brees has blown a game. There's been times Eli's done it, Peyton's done it,
Yep.
Elway's done it,
Everybody's
Marino's done it, Bradshaw's done it, Ben Roethlisberger's done it. For those who think that we
People
don't
make
bash
mistakes.
players on our own
People
teams,
make mistakes.
we
Nobody's
do.
fucking perfect, bro. You know?
Okay? But at the end of the day, your biggest offensive weapon, who controls your whole offense, he's the hub of your offense, is saying, you want me to get you another ring. I can't do it with just Scantling, Lazar, and Devontae Adams. And that's the thing. You're asking Aaron Rodgers to rely on one guy.
main guy is like Adams. Like,
And you can't do that.
because that's where everybody knows the ball's gonna go. And this year he's gonna be double teamed. Period.
Oh, yeah.
Which will leave Lazard and Scantling.
Yeah, well,
open,
their
still.
numbers will be better, and let's just hope that they don't have an Antonio Brown situation where one of them has better numbers, and then Devontae Adams is like, hey, you know what? I want to leave.
Hey, as long as he fucking. If I was Matt LaFleur, honestly, knowing 3 years left on his contract, I would have got him weapons, and because I want to win a Super Bowl now.
But the issue is, and what certain Green Bay fans don't realize, and you should realize this isn't the quarterback Matt LaFleur wants. And it all stemmed from when Matt LaFleur came in when Mike McCarthy left, right? Mm-hmm. Matt LaFleur wanted to change the offense. Aaron Rodgers did not.
Yeah, because Aaron Rodgers used to call plays from the line. I know.
You know what Aaron Rodgers does. Is Aaron Rodgers will pretend that the mic in the helmet is broken and call his own plays. And I'm sorry, when you've been in the league as long as Aaron Rodgers and been in the league as long as Tom Brady and Ben Roethlisberger, you are in essence, you are allowed to do such things.
Yeah, exactly. You see the defense, man. You call that shit, bro.
If you see that the defense has sniffed out what your offensive game plan is on that particular, whether it's first down, second down, third down, whatever it is,
that's what an orbital's for.
your quarterback has the intelligence to say, okay, well, all right, so they know we're going this way. All right, kill, Omaha, whatever, okay? But what Matt LaFleur is saying, Matt LaFleur is kind of, the word ain't right.
Not letting him
he's
do him.
kind of treating him like it's his first year in the league, and Matt LaFleur is the final decision. So whatever Matt LaFleur says is what Matt LaFleur says, and that's why for the next 3 years this is going to be ugly.
Well, that's basically what happened in the fucking playoffs last year when Aaron Rodgers should have ran it into the end zone, but ended up throwing it and wasn't picked off, but was incomplete.
Yeah. And that's what everybody said. Why didn't he run it there? Well, we know why. Because Matt LaFleur was like, no, you're not running it in there. Aaron Rodgers had the biggest wide open lane ever. And even if he didn't get to the end zone,
he would have got a first down.
He would have had a first down. It would have been first and goal. And that's a different outcome to the game.
And then you give Aaron Jones the ball and he pounds in there.
Okay.
They win. Game over.
That gets the same knock as the Super Bowl with Seattle. And
New
England.
God, Seattle. Why
on the goal line when you have the
beast mode?
When you have the at that time one of the best running backs in the game, and Marshawn Lynch. Why is Russell Wilson throwing it there? Why?
From the
run it in.
Exactly.
That's like a Randy Fichtner offensive play. Okay.
They snipped that out too. I seen the Patriots knew it.
And you can't. And again, somebody like Russell Wilson has earned the right to change plays at the line. Mm-hmm. If he doesn't feel comfortable with a play, you should be allowed to change it. It's like a pitcher in baseball. If you don't feel comfortable throwing a curveball there, shake the catcher off, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So, in essence, the quarterback should be like, oh, you want this? No. Fuck no. Okay?
Yo, all I'm saying is if Aaron Rodgers plays this year, though, he's calling all the plays, but you don't go fuck.
Yeah, and you're going to... And I'm telling you right now, for everybody in this situation to save face, I'm telling you right now what you need to do. Okay? This is what you need to do. Since Matt LaFleur traded up to get Jordan Love, You want to avoid the drama that it's going to be and the soap opera this is going to become.
Start Jordan Love, see how he does.
No.
Well,
you would, but you're not going to do it with Aaron Rodgers there. You think Aaron Rodgers is going to show up to a game, dress up, and sit on the bench? No, he's not doing that. So, in essence, what's going to have to happen here is you're going to have to trade Aaron Rodgers. And the best fit, and we said it earlier, so I'm going to say it again, because I'm not going to say one thing and then say something completely different. Vegas.
Yeah.
And you bring Derek Carr to Green Bay.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Yep.
Because that might be the quarterback that, in essence, he may... I think, honestly, Derek Carr is probably the type of quarterback that Matt LaFleur could work with. And John Gruden would have a Hall of Fame quarterback that's going to get Vegas at least 1 or 2 Super Bowls.
And he'll let him do him.
And John Gruden will allow Aaron Rodgers to be the offensive coordinator on the field.
Can you imagine Rodgers with Waller and fucking Ruggs and man.
And when you look at the Pittsburgh side of it last year, and the knock was the offensive play calling, but you knew as a Steeler fan when Ben was calling the plays, and you knew when Fichtner was calling the plays. And I think with Matt Canada being the offensive coordinator now, I think it's kind of going to go hand. Even though Matt Canada has a different style of offense, I think him knowing this is Ben's last year, I think Ben's going to have a little more autonomy to kind of call the plays at the line to a degree, but you're going to see a different offense. You're not going to see what you've seen with Fichtner.
You're going to see a first down, run. Second down, run. Third down, boom.
Well, that's what the issue is going to be here. Is it's going to be a more run-based. Yeah, just fix that. It's going to be a more run-based offense because that's what the Steelers are used to being, as a ground and pound offense, and they've been since the 70s. It's always been their identity. Yep. And when I got to see Steeler fans complain about Najee Harris being the first pick, this is the identity. This is the identity of the Steelers, and it's been forever.
Dude, a 6'1", 200-pound back.
It's like a Derrick Henry. It's been ground and pound since Franco, since Jerome, since Barry Foster, to friggin' to Le'Veon Bell, to James Conner, and now we have that generational type running back. Barring a career-ending injury or something significant, I'm not saying Najee's going to the Hall of Fame right now, but Najee Harris has got all the talent in the world
and all the potential in the damn way, especially in Pittsburgh with that offensive line, bro.
And for those to say that we missed on the offensive line in the draft, no, we didn't. I have to remind you, fucking brain-dead idiots out there of the world that claim to be Steeler fans and so knowledgeable that you claim to be. Kevin Dotson was a beast on that line last year. He is the starting offensive tackle, and Zach Banner's back. And Zach Banner is going to be a beast on this line. And if you think they're not, you're a fool. You are a fool. Mr. Eligible will be a beast on this offensive line. Mm-hmm. Chuks Okafor can only improve. And it helps with them being young on the offensive line.
Young and hungry.
Because David DeCastro is aging. And to save David DeCastro's career, they have an offensive line to do it now.
Yep. Unlike us.
If you look at the numbers, if you look at the run game with Dotson on the offensive line, it's a different game. But what annoys me is that wild card game is that you're starting Matt Filer, who just came off the injured reserve list, and he didn't play in 6 weeks.
And Chuck Okafor is right on the bench.
And no, well, Chucks comes in and out on drives, but Dotson should have been the starter in that game. And that's the one thing I questioned all year with Tomlin, is that move, that decision. Why Matt Filer? And good job, Los Angeles Chargers, because you overpaid by $20 million for a guy who ain't gonna pan out for you.
$20 million.
They paid him 3 years and $21 million with extra. I think it's like a quarter of it's guaranteed. He ain't gonna do nothing, and he ain't gonna do nothing with the Chargers. And all 6 to 10 Chargers fans are gonna cry boo-hoo. Okay, I could care less.
See what the Chiefs did after Patrick Mahomes took that hit and was screaming for his life in the Super Bowl? What did they do with the Ravens? Offensive lineman, boom.
Yep.
Bad boy. Even in the draft, offensive lineman. Protect the quarterback.
That's what they had to do.
What did the Giants do? Fuck Daniel Jones. We just didn't invest our sixth pick into him, and fuck Barkley. We didn't invest our second round pick in him. I mean, our second overall pick in him. I can't, bro. It's like, I'm kind of excited for this year, but I'm nervous to see, like, what the fuck? Is Barkley go down game 1, game 2? I just don't know.
I don't think. See, it's weird it's weird because I don't think they're gonna use him as much as you think.
Cause we got Booker and we did draft a running back.
And the reason why I say it is because I think Jason Garrett's gonna try to be more pass happy to avoid Daniel Jones getting sacked as much as he did last year. Like that game against the Cardinals and him getting sacked by Hassan Riddick
5 times.
5 straight times. Well, not 5 straight times, but 5 times.
That should have told you right there.
If that didn't tell you that Andrew Thomas was the wrong pick,
especially a left tackle.
And if that didn't tell you that in this draft, that offensive line was the key issue you had to fix. Not running back, not wide receiver, but it was the offensive line and your secondary. Okay? Yeah, you got edge rushers, but the one you got, he's a talented kid. But the other one, built like Kevin Durant, I'm sorry, ain't gonna pan out, and you won't see him in the league that long.
No.
You're not gonna see him. He's gonna wind up playing in the XFL or in the Canadian Football League somewhere, or he'll be playing arena football for the friggin' Long Island Dragons. If arena football's still even around at this point. And it's just,
oh, it's insane.
It's just
no, it's just fucking man, dude. I really thought, bro, after Jalen Waddle got picked, bro, we were actually gonna go offensive line first round.
No,
I really thought that. I was so happy.
As I was thinking about it before the draft started, right? As I was sitting at work all day, and I was thinking, everybody who comes in my job, everybody watches football, so we were discussing it, and somebody asked me, who do you think the Giants pick? I said, listen. I said, if there's not an offensive lineman there that you like with that pick,
you pick the best player available.
Then you either got to go wide receiver there, or you got to go Micah Parsons.
Yep.
But
Micah Parsons
Gettleman went the complete opposite way of the way everybody thought Giants fans thought this draft was going to go. See, every Giants fan went in there going, oh, Gettleman's going to get it right this year. Well, if last year's draft was any indication that it went wrong, then you should have realized it was going to be the same end result. That it was just going to be a shitty draft all over again.
I can't believe we picked Andrew Thomas over Mekhi Becton. I still can't get over that. You know that. I can't.
And when you look at the Jets draft, the Jets did everything right. They even got out of the 23rd pick and went up 9 spots. They gave up a little extra to do it. But that's what you had to do.
Exactly.
And that's something that Joe Douglas went into this draft with brass balls. Let's call it what it is.
The trigger. He did.
And if you're a Jets fan that is saying otherwise,
wait till the season ends, bro.
Just pull your Jets fan card now and be a Houston Texans fan.
Hey man, I hope for the best, prepare for the worst though, but I think the Giants are gonna have a decent year. A decent year. I hope.
You better go to church and light some candles then.
Hey man. Well, Kenny Galladay and who the fuck did we draft the first round again? What his fucking name is already.
Kadarius Toney.
Yeah, Kadarius Toney. He is like a rubber band, man. Like he could shift in and out. He's good slot receiver, but we have 10.
Yeah. and that's why it got questioned. Like you already have a slot receiver in Slayton
and Shepard.
Shepard.
I think Slayton's gonna move to the outside with Kenny on the other side.
So you didn't need that, and with no offensive line, that bubble screen play ain't gonna work, and everybody knows it.
It's not gonna work.
I mean, if that's what they're banking on to save Daniel Jones from getting murdered on the field, you better do, God, please. You got it, because it's not gonna. Listen, as far as I'm concerned, it's a C rating for me on that draft, and that's just being nice. I really could sit there and say it's an F minus.
I would have drafted a left tackle, and I would have had him and Andrew Thomas battle last year. I already know Andrew Thomas would have lost, and boom, Andrew Thomas sitting on the fucking bench. I'm sorry. You give so many quarterback hits last year. It was disgusting.
Yeah.
That's where half the fucking fumbles came from.
I mean, they have to fix other things with Daniel Jones because at times he's not smart with the ball.
He's not. I'm not gonna lie. Picks, I got
I mean, a bulk of it gets blamed on your offensive line because then he's rushed into making that mistake. So they kind of go hand in hand. So, and the same goes on the Jets side of it with Sam Darnold, and this is why I said they prematurely gave up on him. Mm-hmm. And you can say, oh, he's there for 3 years, and okay, but again, when you're putting nothing around him, nobody's helping him improve, and when you're constantly going through offensive coordinator and head coaches for 3 years, same thing with the Jets. How are you going to figure it out? How's he going to learn when he has a different playbook every 5 minutes?
Mm-hmm.
So they go hand in hand as far as the turnovers and the mistakes. They go hand in hand because you don't have an offensive line to protect your quarterback. So your quarterback's scrambling around, not knowing what the fuck to do, and this is the end result. Is he's gonna make make a decision. He's gonna make a judgment call, and it's not gonna be the right one.
Because he doesn't want to get sacked. He doesn't want to cause a fumble, so he's gonna throw the ball and hope he don't get picked. Basically, what Eli did in the Super Bowl against Patriots, closed his eyes, threw it in the air, and
for everybody who knocked the Steeler offensive line for the run game, here's one thing that they did do. There was like an 8-game stretch where Ben didn't get sacked at all. During their 11-0 streak. There was like 8 games straight where he didn't get sacked, not once, that nobody even got to him. What does that tell you?
That's an offensive
And that's
line.
when Dotson was in the game. So again, why in a wild card game, even though the game was as flat as can be, why wouldn't you just put Dotson in there?
Can't answer that question for you, buddy.
I don't think Tomlin wants to answer it either. And I love Tomlin, but that's one that it's got to stick in his craw to this day.
Jason Garrett, man, he's not my. I don't want him to be my offensive coordinator anymore. But he's just.
Well, and that's the other thing. He's not going to change. He's not going to.
Too predictable.
And he's not going to change
the book.
He's not going to change the playbook. So everybody's already going to know what's coming. Listen. As far as
I just hope Kenny Galladay stays healthy.
Well, that's the thing. You're paying him a lot of money and hoping he's staying healthy.
We got John Ross, which we could probably use him on special teams.
And that's it. Why would you get?
That's what I'm saying.
Kadarius Toney when you had John Ross.
That's why I was so pissed.
And that's why you could say you don't knock the pick. But you see now why you have to.
Yeah.
Because you have John Ross, who could be that slot receiver.
You have Sterling Shepard, who is the slot receiver. And
you're Darius Slayton, who can play the slot position. So why? I just think maybe Gettleman doesn't even know who's on the team.
That guy could be it. I'm being dead serious, bro. Like, I don't know. Because Kadarius Toney was what, fourth on the board, I think, like fucking wide receiver wise.
He wasn't a first round wide receiver.
No, it was round 2, round 3. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I just don't. Whatever. We'll see. We'll see this year. Whatever. Because police is Daniel Jones make a break here. Good job, Gettleman, for helping him out there, buddy.
Well, that's the thing. Maybe their game plan is, and maybe Giants ownership is in on this. That maybe they realized, and if this is the case,
you just wasted a fucking 6th-round pick. What the fuck?
No. So, well, this is what I'm thinking. Maybe they realized they made the mistake of taking a quarterback with the 6th pick in the first round of the 17 draft.
No, where they fucked up was taking Thomas at 4.
And then that's the following year. You take Thomas with the 4th pick. So now, maybe maybe Gettleman realizes he made the mistake. But here's the thing: if you realize you made the mistake,
fix it,
and ownership's realizing it, here's what ownership needs to realize too: you screwed up in making Gettleman your GM.
Yep.
So that goes hand in hand too, which means if you're really if you botch this draft purposely to get a better first round pick next year, and then get the Bears first round pick next year, which you better hope the Bears suck.
Okay. Yep.
If you're saying that, and you're looking not to pick up Daniel Jones' 5th year option, and you're going to tank to get another top quarterback, whoever it is in the 2022 draft. If that's what you're saying, then Giants ownership needs to take accountability for hiring Gettleman and for letting Gettleman make that pick. Because you, again, could have got Daniel Jones anywhere else in that draft. He was not a first-round quarterback. You in essence, Chicago bared yourselves without having to trade up to make the mistake.
Exactly.
And listen, I'm not saying Daniel Jones is a shitty quarterback. Daniel Jones has got an arm. He's mobile. He's got all the potential in the world. But again, same thing goes with Sam Darnold. But if you're not going to protect them, they're not going to succeed. They're not going to learn. So who do you really put the blame on? And the quarterback's got to take accountability too.
No, he does. He does.
They got to take accountability for the mistakes that they make, but the coaching staff's got to take accountability. The GM's got to take accountability. The team as a whole has to take accountability.
Some of the receivers, like Evan Ingram, dropping those passes, got to take dude. That one pass on the sideline they missed last year. Remember that one? Right in his fucking wheelhouse, bro. Boom, missed it.
You know, and it's
fucking
pretty much what the Jets did in this draft. Mm-hmm. The Jets pretty much showed you as a Giants fan
what we should have done.
That
this is how it's done.
That you two are in the same predicaments.
Yep.
Minus the quarterback position, because you got rid of one, you drafted one. You had an offensive line issue. You traded up to get the best offensive tackle after Penei Sewell, and that's Elijah Vera Tucker. The Giants just sitting there aimlessly, like, no, we're just gonna. He looks good. Draft him.
He's fast. Take him. Yeah.
With
just forgetting that we just signed John Ross a couple months ago. He's just as fucking fast. Was he running 4.22? Whatever the fuck it is. And they were talking about using Kadarius Toney on special teams as well and shit. Like, come on.
You could have got that later. You
Exactly.
could have got that later then. So
in
in essence, you wasted the 20th pick to get a guy who's going to field punt returns. You could have got that anywhere in the draft. You could have got Kadarius. If you were going to do that, then should have drafted him with your last pick in the 7th round.
So many offensive linemen, bro. 30 picks. Even 3rd round.
Because if they're banking on Nate Solder being the Nate Solder of old,
he's not the Nate Solder from the Patriots.
He's not going to be. He's not going to be. If you're banking on Andrew Thomas taking a step back, think again. It's only going to get worse.
They better be working with him. I swear to God, bro.
It's only going to get worse. And
Matt Pert on the right tackle had a better fucking season. And he was a 5th round pick.
You better off bringing Eric Flowers back. Justin Pugh. Bringing them back. Let them protect Daniel Jones.
Not Eric Flowers. Nah.
Andrew Thomas couldn't even protect it with a wet paper bag friggin' stapled to a table.
It's bad, bro. And he's a big boy, too.
And that, yeah.
Well, Andrew Thomas and Azeez Ojulari both went to Georgia, so they'll reunite.
Ooh.
I know.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, great. They could hold each other.
That's probably what...
Actually, Andrew Thomas probably couldn't even hold him. But
I can't, man. Whatever.
And it's funny because, like, to get into my team for a little bit. So obviously we get Najee Harris. Okay, we all know that, and we're gonna go on about this forever. Fucking Najee. So now here comes the 2nd round. We could go anywhere. We can go offensive line. We can go corner. We can go anywhere. Okay?
But you guys went.
And the other issue that really wasn't talked about was the tight end position, because you figure Eric Ebron. Okay, but Eric Ebron, again, is not a true tight end.
He's a hybrid.
He's a hybrid like Evan Ingram, okay? Both catch passes that you wouldn't think would get caught and drop the ones that should be caught. Eric Ebron, his weakness is blocking. Mm-hmm. So Mike Tomlin and Kevin Colbert, every year into the draft, and this is the other thing that was talked about, how the Steelers, their process is smooth. It's just like they don't use the whole time on the clock to get the pick, and they already know who they want. So here comes the pick. Franco Harris comes up,
waving the towel,
waving the terrible towel mask, and he announces that it's going to be Pat Freiermuth.
I'm happy for you guys. You're happy.
So we get a tight end that blocks, and like Kyle Pitts, never dropped the pass in college.
He's a big boy too.
Okay, 6'7". You know they're comparing him to Gronk.
Baby Gronk.
Okay. And if you think about over the course of the years of tight ends we've had, from Jesse James to Matt Spaeth to Ebron now and Vance McDonald, the one thing they all lacked was blocking. Mm-hmm. Heath Miller, on the other hand, did not lack blocking and could catch anything thrown at him. So in essence, Pat Freiermuth, if he stays healthy and utilized correctly within the Steeler offense, is going to thrive and be the replacement to Heath Miller.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
I'm not saying he jumps right in and automatically in one game he's replaced Heath Miller because he lays somebody out with a nasty block and Najee runs it for 60 into pay dirt. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is Pat Freiermuth going to Pittsburgh
Was the right pick, I think.
is the right pick. Because again, in a heavily offensive line draft, the Steelers could have picked one up anywhere else. Hence, last year, getting Dotson later in the draft. Hence, getting Alex Highsmith on the defensive end later in the draft. See, be knowledgeable when you root for your teams. And when it comes to the draft, look at the depth. Look at the damn depth.
Exactly.
And when these people do their mock drafts, you're hanging on every single word that, like Adam Sheen says, or the people at PFF, like, oh, well, he's the fifth best guy. But is he the fifth best guy on the draft board for your team? See, what Pittsburgh does opposite of other teams is they draft people who are going to fit their system. Yep. They take everything into accountability. Is he going to be a problem on the field? Is he going to be a problem off the field? Is he just going to be a problem in general? And guess what? That's why the Steelers have always been successful in the draft. Other than Jarvis Jones and Ziggy Hood, which honestly I would have never picked. But
hey, nobody's perfect.
But we didn't know that they were going to pan out to be shitbags and suck in the league, in which I don't think either of them are in the league anymore.
No.
They're probably going to play in the XFL, CFL crossover games. Who the hell knows? But
it's fucking crazy.
But we recapped the draft, and that's really
all I know is that Miami hit, Jets
Jacksonville hit, Carolina, the Niners hit. So
Texans fuck.
We hit. Hell,
you guys hit.
So
we got to see Texans. Davis Mills. More power to you. Hope you succeed. I don't know.
But until the next one, ladies and gents, which you can catch all the videos on YouTube, podcasts are on Spotify, Apple, pretty much everywhere you go. They're there. So listen, check them out, follow, subscribe. There'll be a lot.
Winning 2-0, maybe. Whoop.
There'll be a lot more to come. Trying to figure out what debates we're going to have next. There's so many different topics we can do between football, baseball, basketball, even hockey.
Speaking of hockey, Islanders clinched playoff berth.
And the few sports we're not going to talk about, I'm not debating golf, not debating NASCAR, not debating cricket. Soccer, no. Rugby, no. Okay, it's the four major sports. You want to talk UFC with us? We'll talk UFC. You even want to do a little WWE? Listen, I watch I don't really watch WWE like I used to. It's more about AEW now and the inner circle of Chris Jericho and Jake Hager and all them. But
UFC, man, I'll talk all day about that shit.
But stay safe, mask up.
Peace.